Alright, guys. Liquid Clem in the bottom right side of the map. Lambo in the top left. Shopify Rebellion against Team Liquid. And it's a best of 3 here in the RSL. And I just really want to see a few things. What is Clem doing with 300 mineral command centers? Is he being greedier than ever? Is he just going back to standard 3cc, which I think he will be? And Lambo, has he changed his opening and his builds at all? I know he was bullying Clem on the ladder back when the lava was a little bit stronger. The command centers were 400 minerals. Looks like same opening here for Lambo. 12 Overlord into an extractor trick. Meanwhile, Clem, it looks like, has gone for that pretty early 11 depot. I think we're going to see his 13 barracks, 14 gas build. I'm still not convinced until someone crunches the numbers on this that this is the best opening. I think it's okay. I think it's fine. I don't think it's... I don't know. I think it's okay. Oh, he's doing a 13-13. Never mind. I actually like this opening better than 13-14. I think, you know, if you're going to cut worker production to get an orbital, why not cut it earlier? Get the gas earlier. Get the Reaper over. But I think when you do this opening, I do like to see workers pulled off gas at tactical points here and there. Because the big thing you're balancing is with an 8 worker start, you're always below 16 workers on minerals, and quite significantly so. With a Terran where your builders have to be building buildings all the time, you lose a lot of mining time. You can see Zerg's already at 16 workers. You're only on 11 as Terran. And minerals is everything. Minerals builds command centers, builds more workers, builds more barracks. So we'll see how this irons out. You can see he's going to have enough money for the Reaper. It just needs one more gas strip. There we go. So Reaper's still pretty early. He will SCV scout for a bit of safety. Clem doesn't want to get cheesed. We are, of course, on Necropolis, which I think is a pretty long rush distance. Like, I don't think this is quite a while to get across this map. Especially, yeah, it takes a long time to get through here. He's not pulled off gas at all yet, so looks like he's leaving on for the moment. Command center goes down at 205. And this looks like it was, I would imagine, 16 hatch, 17 pull for Lambo. As he rallies onto that gas with the workers as they pop out. All right, so Reaper comes out. He goes for a Marine. No pulling off gas at all. You see, I would have pulled one off gas. Because I feel like, especially if you're going to play 3 command centers with the 300 minerals, I'm almost certain Clem is going to. I feel like you'd want to optimize that. Because look, you got 150 gas here. Now, arguably, you can just delay your second gas a very long time if you just only mine off 1 gas but never stop. And he wants to go reactor there as well. Fair enough. The thing is, if you're going to go 3cc, the timing of this isn't important because you don't have enough minerals to build Hellions anyway when that finishes. And that's actually a really integral thing. Okay, gets himself 1 Zergling so far. Queens are out. And we're going to see an inject and a Creep Tumor. Oh, watch out for that Reaper, though. Could jump down the ledge. Creep Tumor's up. Nice defense. And there we go. 3rd CC, yeah. So if you want to go Starport straight away, you actually won't have the money to build Hellions. So you don't need the gas immediately to build that reactor anyway. These are small hairs that I'm splitting, but I think they do matter. I think a lot of players... It's been a long time for many players since they optimized build orders in StarCraft 2. So as you can see, doesn't have enough. Builds the Starport. The factory just sits on the reactor for quite a while before it can do anything. And actually, it's a second barracks, not a starport. Interesting. 2-1-1. So 3cc, 2-1-1. Clem's classic favorite build order. Give him those Stim Marines. He massages them better than anyone out there. He gets so much value. First Hellions only now starting just before 4 minutes. That wall off, of course. Good insurance for Terran. If you knew a Terran player was always playing this greedy, you could Ling Flood him. But what are you going to do? Get a few SCVs on the natural. You will not breach that high ground ramp, and that's going to cost you so much to do, and the Reaper will see it coming. Two aliens coming forward, Stim's on the way. 3rd orbital's building. Already saved 200 minerals with this build compared to before the patch. With the hotfix balance update thingamajiggy. Alien's coming in. Oh, he's going to take out tumors on both sides. No? Oh, not quite. Almost. Lings should be able to catch that Reaper. Going to try and lure them, potentially. And the Reaper did go down. Same time, Overlord's going to sack in, and he sees what's up. All right, so Lambo knows what's going on. Evo Chamber's going to go down almost instantly. Where is it? Where is it? He's supply blocked pretty badly right now. He's got quite a few Overlords building. Where is that Evo? Normally Carapace is a high priority against this sort of build, and also pulling all these overlords back. He's pulled back only one of them. Lambo's going to go Bane Nest. Interesting decision here. I mean, I don't think that's a priority. Yeah, I don't think you need Banelings to defend a 2-1-1. I think it's almost worthless, slow Banelings against this. He might be worried about Hellbats joining it, in which case you do need Banelings. Lambo's still droning. He's still not pulled back these overlords against a 2-1-1. Uh-oh. Lambo's slipping right now, guys. These are free kills. You know there's going to be 2 medevacs coming. You want to pull all the overlords back here. Otherwise, you're just going to be giving away 100 minerals for each one of those. It's awkward. Lambo. 3 bases saturated. He's got Carapace coming in, though it's in a very snipeable position for a drop in the main, but it's not too bad. Prefer it up here would be nice. And he's got a mass Zerglings. He's only got 13 Zerglings. The double drop is coming. It is missing 4 Marines. That's a 12 Marine drop. But he's already finding his first freebie, this Overlord, and Lambo now realizes, oh, let's pull back that other one. 4th base goes up on the left. At least it gives him warning so he knows where it's coming from. 1-1 upgrades on the way for Clem. So Clem's just playing, he's absolutely just doing his standard greedy pre-patch 3cc 2-1-1. I love it. I think it makes sense with the patch changes. It's exactly what Clem loves to do. 3 command centers and then just, off of a 3-based economy, micro and macro at a pace where players can't quite keep up with the intensity of it because you are spending your money so well. You're using your multitasking, your speed. And that's Clem's main strong suit, isn't it? I mean, he's faster, he's better at multitasking than everyone else. And he's also really, really bloody good at learning builds and tactics and multi-pronging and picking his builds for the right opponent as well. But, of course, the speed is the thing that is just night and day compared to your average player, which is why we talk about it so much. It's not like that's the only thing he knows how to do. He's not a mindless baboon who just clicks buttons fast and that's it. But sometimes people do take it that way. Hydroden 1-1's on the way. Lambo quite supply blocked right now. 68 workers for him. He's got to be tighter on the defense here. He's already lost 350 resources for just that 1 Reaper. So 3 Overlords and 2 Zerglings. Second factory goes down. 4th and 5th barracks coming up here for Clem. He's not started... actually, he's already got combat shields. Oh, very early on the combat shields, isn't it? I'm surprised he's not multi-pronging. He's actually grouping his whole army on this left side to push. I guess because he's got tanks. And we are in Necropolis where... tank here, or one even on the watchtower, and then you can put one on the low ground as well. It's really quite awkward to deal with. He's just going to go straight up and hug the edge. Hug the edge of the cliff where the tank gets surrounded. No, he doesn't quite hug it. He just shoves. Baneling speed is not quite here. 1-1 upgrades isn't here either. The tank will get jumped on. Banelings and Lings trying to go forward. Remember, there's only 4 Banelings in there. Make that 3. Clem does not fear the slow Baneling. He needs more Banes coming in. The Queens, the Lings, and the Banes trying to hold on. Clem runs forward, focuses down a few Queens and a few Banelings. Bane speed is here. There's not many Banelings left. He focuses down 2, 3, 4. 4 Banelings go down. And just like that, Lambo has to tap out. This is unsurprising to me as a result in game 1 and in terms of what Clem did. But I really wanted to watch this game and this series to see, because I expected 3cc. Absolutely makes sense that he did this. And the thing is, you can see that he's able to find the lethality that he wasn't finding before this command center buff. What was happening is Clem, whenever he was going for these sorts of pressures, even Serral, even Rogue, even Dark, even Raynor would sometimes die to this sort of pressure, right? It's not just Lambo and other players who are a little bit mechanically not quite as fast or whatever the case is. It was everyone would be dying to this. But on this patch before with the Zerg Lava buff, and Terran not having the 300 mineral command center, he couldn't find any sort of lethality. It felt like he was always both behind on upgrades, which he is slightly behind the Carapace tier, but he was also just not able to have any sort of scary 7 to 8 minute, hey, your 4th base is in jeopardy, maybe your Bane speed's not quite ready or this or that, and this time he finds it, and you can just see night and day. I do think Lambo didn't have the perfect opening, left a few Overlords hanging out, had a supply block here or there. It wasn't perfect play for Lambo. I don't think it was any huge, big, obvious, one-dimensional mistake. But, I mean, you can see, for instance, look at his supply. He's way overbuilt Overlords because he got supply blocked so hard earlier. So he way overbuilt Overlords to overcompensate, droned his 4th, wasn't able to defend it, and does get overrun here. And I do think, the Baneling Nest coming down so early was unnecessary. I think he could have saved that Baneling Nest till after he went for the lair. I think he was worried about a Hellbat timing coming in with the Marines, and I think he was kind of jumping the gun a little bit on that defense. But nice opening for Clem, gets a dominant map 1 victory, and this is what we wanted to see. Is Clem going to be back in that dominant form now with the 300 mineral command center? Because my suspicion says yes. Let's find out what happens in game 2. All right, guys. Well, he's the best Terran in the world. He overruns people all the time, and he makes their face a slightly more pained version of this face. This is Clem over here, Lambo on this side. For those who don't know, normally your clan, your team logo goes here, but if you're watching a replay offline or whatever, it can't access the image, or you're on a different server to where it was played, so it can't access the image. It automatically shows this dev is a former Blizzard dev, I believe, with a very excited face, some would say, clenching. I mean, he is clenching, right? I don't know what you guys would do. I forget what his name is. I'm sure some people in the comments will let us know. But yeah, that is not the actual Shopify Rebellion nor Team Liquid logo. These are rival teams. We'll see how we go. Thought I turned off that audio. There we go. Sorry, guys. Just tabbed out for a second to fix that. Got a Barracks Gas on the way here, so it's going to be 13-13. I showed everyone 12 Barracks 12 Gas as the standard opening a few days into this patch. Cool to see Clem going back in that direction, 13-13. So one extra supply, one extra SCV before pausing for it. Still going to get the Reaper over there at a sharp time. Not quite as sharp, but of course having one more SCV means you don't need to do as much damage and disruption to your opponent. Drones nicely stacked up here, and you can see 17 spawning pool will go down. So 16 hatch, 17 pool. Standard stuff for Lambo. Really focusing on getting those minerals up. And now... Oh, he's forgot to put on gas. Or is he going marine first? Oh my god, guys, Clem forgot to put his third worker on gas. So his Reaper's quite delayed. Oh, he's messed his opening up. Clem, with a bit of a doo-doo, that Reaper's not going to hit as hard as he would have liked it to. Could have just gone for a 14 gas, couldn't he? Yeah, pretty much the same timing. Oh, well. Unfortunate there for Clem, but I guess he mines a little bit more minerals. So, you know, suboptimal, but it was unintended, but he gets a benefit in amongst the pain of having that Reaper delayed. Does send the SCV out to confirm its hatchery first. Sees it's a normal build from Lambo, and that SCV will turn around and return home. Now, does Clem just play 3CC 2-1-1 again? If he does, that's diabolical, but I wouldn't be surprised. He could go Hellion Banshee off of 3 Command Center. He's very light on units with this, but I do wonder if there's like a 2-base Ravagerling. You go Ling speed, but then you like take a second gas and you just stay on like 22 drones or something. But you make like a third queen to kind of convince the Reaper that it's a normal build. The problem is always that it's... I don't know, I feel like it's very hard to hide an all-in intent in this scenario. And you know what's funny, guys? Clem's gone second gas, so he's actually going to play a bit more aggro this game. And I think that's going to be more powerful now that it's not just, you know, he was doing that a lot earlier, but he wasn't doing much 3CC. Didn't seem to have much faith in the 3 command center. So now that he's shown a very scary 3rd command center, I think the more aggressive double gas player has more effectiveness. And that's unfortunate. That was a mistake. He should have had both queens guarding there. This queen could have been guarding, defended that creep tumor, and then moved up to inject the main. Only now. So that's an unfortunate misstep. And remember, creep spread spreads slower every delay. Really crucial on this patch. Reaper goes around. Zerglings are there to greet him. Quickly turns around. Injects have gone down. Creep tumor placed on the natural 3rd base is building. And you can see this is Hellion Banshee, but off 2 commands, and there's no 3rd command center. It's going to be much more about diving Hellions in. And for Lambo, who struggled with the more defensive 3 command center, and it was only from like, what, 5.5, 6 minutes when the Marines came in, he's got to defend. This is a more annoying opening where Clem's attention is going to be much more focused on darting Hellions and Reapers in. Hellions dart in, they dart out, they take a little bit of damage. Ling speed's finished, but there's only 3 Zerglings. 4 more are coming out. Lambo's got to be careful with supply blocks. Queen pushes the Hellion away. Reaper takes some damage. Here we go. Does bounce the Queen. Queen's coming forward. Ling's dancing around. The Hellion Reaper rotating. 3rd base on that side as well. Ooh-wee. 4 Hellions and a Reaper. Looking for openings. No Queens on that 3rd just yet, though. Lambo's going straight to 7 Queens. He's massively slowed down droning his 3rd. I admire him playing safe here. I do wonder if he's erring on the side of too much safety. You know, it's almost 5 minutes. He needs to get this 3rd mining. I think now that he's got 7 Queens so early, he's got to be holding that drone key down. He's doing a good job of it. But the Banshees are coming, and there's no lair started just yet. Feels to me like he might have gone a bit too heavy on the queen production. He sees the third command center starting. Spores are going down, but the Banshee can still get between your rallies. You've still got to start a lair, because the longer you go without a lair, you're not going to be able to make Overseer. Without an Overseer, Banshee can get between your bases. He'll wreak havoc. Still no lair. There we go. Finally starts up, but Cloak is already here. Got about a minute without Overseers. Zergling's not quite guarding this mineral line. Actually gets pushed back from the main. No kills there. Only one drone on the Hellions so far. Good spread on these Overlords. Lambo's vision is excellent. It's a lot of queens. 5 queens. They got to be careful going off creep. Actually rotating. These 2 queens should be okay. Ooh, 1 queen's going to go down. Lings being aggroed by the Hellions. And actually, the queen did survive. Nicely done. Oh, these queens don't have transfuse. Got to be careful. Gotta let them. Do not throw any more creep tumors down. You've got to get more energy on these queens so they can heal each other. Banshees go to the right side. Overseer's not quite ready just yet. One Banshee will run out of cloak energy. And you know what? Lambo's done an excellent job of shutting this down, guys. This is really well played by Lambo. Yeah, no, I thought he might be delaying mining on the third too long, but this is perfect. He didn't leave an opening. He didn't let Clem start the chaos, right? He didn't, oh, I'll just be a bit light on Zerglings, and then Clem roasts your 8 Zerglings, and then you have no Zerglings, and suddenly he's in your mineral line, and it's in those situations where things snowball. He's not given the chance for Clem to snowball. And honestly, I'm a little surprised Clem didn't go 3 command center early. Like, yeah, he's still got a third floating out of good timing. He's still got 3 barracks going. His 1-1 upgrades are on the way. Upgrades have not started yet for Lambo. Lambo's 4th has been delayed. Needs to move these queens over to establish that setup. I would have tried to surround these Hellions like 10 times by now. I would have looped like 15 Zerglings around and tried to get them from behind. Just because I'd be like, how dare you be so active in my territory with your Hellions? But it's so hard to do that while keeping your macro up. Clem's just so fast. Fortunately, the queens were shooting the healthy Banshee, not the damaged one. We've got our first Stim Marine push coming forward. Stim's done. 1-1 in shields will be done in about, I don't know, 30 seconds maybe. Banshee's in the main, but good pullback here for Lambo. Overseer's finally coming over, but Clem is constantly forcing reactions out of Lambo, and you can tell Lambo feels like he's maybe half a step behind in a lot of these scenarios. 2 queens caught up north. Here comes the Marine Hellion. The Lings aren't there. 2 queens caught in the open. Oh, you do not want to lose this base. You should have enough queens and Zerglings to defend. As Lambo. But Lambo, he's going to have to take a bit of an awkward fight. His Hydra's coming in now, though. Oh, they could focus the medevac. Doesn't quite get forward enough with the Hydras to focus the medevac down. And that is going to be a good hold. But he's got to drone that 4th. And you can see 1-1 upgrades for him. A little bit behind the 1-1 of Terran. Armory's going to finish. And that should, if he's quick on it, Clem can build an upgrade advantage. He's also got a 4th command center building. Only 300 minerals a pop for those bad boys. Armory's now done. And look at how quick Clem is. The moment he gets money, he starts +2 attack. Or what's the bet? He, yeah, also starts +2 armor. Clem's monitoring of his upgrades and things, like so many players just press buttons and hope things start building. Clem often cycles back and checks. He goes, did that start? Did that start? Is that on the way? Is that good? Or I don't even know if he's checking, or he just cycles back out of habit and makes sure he presses it a few more times to make sure it's actually gone through as an order. But compared to the Clem of 3-4 years ago, who'd forget upgrades a lot, he's so consistent. Queen Ling Bane Hydra coming forwards. Ling Hydra around the left side as well. That Widowmine retarget was diabolical. Oh my lord, he targeted on a Hydra, got 4 Banelings for good measure. Clem pulls back, sieges his tanks. The Lings end up, what should have been an all-consuming, crushing fight, turns into an excellent engagement for Terran. What in the hell was that? Great Widowmine, great tank pullbacks, the Marine stuttering away. The Hydra spending a lot of time moving and not fully collapsing. This is why you need to hit Clem not just from 2 frontal sides. You need to sandwich him so he has nowhere to run, or his micro will do terrible things to you. That's why in this fight you need half the army up here from this angle. And Lambo's doing a good job of getting some Hydra Ling there, but there's no Banelings from there, and he's going to get baited in. He's got to fight it. He's got to fight it. I think he can overwhelm, though. He's got good numbers, man. Tanks going down pretty quickly. The Banes are getting targeted so consistently. But can Clem drop in the main and find damage there? Oh, yes, he can. Look, the whole army's going to F2 to the main. That means the 5th base on the left is vulnerable. And this is it. Clem sets up, gets a big reaction, forces your whole army. This is the same scenario Solar finds himself in every weekly tournament when he's playing Clem, and picks up just before the Banelings connect. Now your 4th base and your macro hatch are in jeopardy as well. Lambo feeling the heat, feeling the pressure of playing against a Clem who is dancing. And look at that, he's redropped behind the grass. Oh no, not enough units there to defend. Then again, the Hydras are nearby, and Clem does respect it. Kills the Extractor, picks up, gets out. A few Hydras on the low ground as well. Can he catch this drop? This would be really nice if he could catch the drop, get him out of there. This is why I'm a big fan of Infestors against Clem, because it's the one way you can hold his units in position and stop them from picking up. Gets himself a medevac snipe, but nothing inside, said medevac, unfortunately. Lambo does keep his Hydras back a little bit. He's hoping Clem might click the units in to drop while a lot of other things are happening and not see those Hydras and go a bit too deep. Clem does monitor and turns the drop around at the last second. Biomine on the left side, not many units to defend. You'd want to roll 10 or 15 Banes into this to clear these Widow Mines. Oh man. Oh me, oh my. The macro hatch goes down. Not enough Banelings to defend. The third base is gonna potentially fall here. He has to defend the base. The Lings go forward. The Widow Mines go for a burrow, unburrow. A lot of the Widow Mines, if not all of them, have fired. Is there enough Banelings left over to deal with this? He's going to pull his units back to defend, but the moment the army pulls away, Clem goes and drops in the north as well. Units lost tab is 2-1. His micro is freakish. And this is what you either need fungal or you need to sandwich his army. He's got a fourth base up and mining behind this. Lambo taps out, realizing he just can't connect with this army. The Hydraling Bane is just getting kited for days. There's a fourth with an orbital on the fourth, not even a planetary. Remember, planetaries cost 250 minerals now, whereas orbitals are 100 minerals cheaper. So, of course, a guy like Clem is like, I'm just going to make more orbitals, be greedier, rather than building planetaries and just smother you with units. You're not going to have a room to go across the map. Even if you hit a base, I'll run the SCVs, use the Banshees and my rally to defend, and we'll be fine. Just absolutely dominant play. And you can see, it's kind of funny, right? Because Lambo was beating the heck out of Clem on ladder a few weeks ago. They've nerfed the Zerg Lava since then. I wonder how competitive it was after that Zerg Lava nerf, because I did notice the games were looking a lot more competitive after that. Now you got the 300 mineral command center, and Clem is like, oh, you've given me that momentum boost. It doesn't sound like that much, I think, to the untrained eye. You think, what's 100 minerals? I think the reason it's so big is because the earlier you get a boost saving something tangible, the more powerful it is in StarCraft. And I guess if we think about it, when do you build your first command center? About 2 minutes? About 2 minutes, right? So that first command center, that's 100 minerals. Think of it as just getting plus 100 minerals at 2 minutes. And in this case, he did a more aggro build on 2 base, and I do think Lambo got a bit of a lead. But then again, at like, what, 4.5, 5 minutes, plops the third command center down, right? Yeah, and that's another, bam, plus 100 minerals. And it just makes it a bit easier for you to build a few more islands, build a few more SCVs. And I think anyone who's played Age of Empires 2, where there's a lot of Civ bonuses where it's like, hey, when you get to the next stage, you get 200 wood, you get some food or whatever. Those bonuses are just so generally useful for just pushing your tempo forwards, because it's so early and so immediate that those effects kick in. So, yeah, really, really powerful. And obviously, we knew this would be really effective for him. I think Lambo got ahead this game, but he struggled to get the fourth established. It did end up getting sniped. And Clem was just really good at dancing, and you can kind of feel the lack of fear. He knows if he can just dance around and keep forcing Lambo to react to him, Lambo's really going to struggle. And I think even if your opponent's faster than you, like Clem's faster than everyone, if there's a way you can counter pressure, you can make it a bit more competitive. But the moment this wall off is up, unless you've actually got Banelings somehow morphing on their side of the map or Ravagers, there's not really a lot of ways Zerg can put pressure on. Now, this is why I actually really think the 2-base Mutalist builds are still really powerful, because it allows you to get those Mutas out so early, which gives you more control, obviously at the sacrifice of having as much economy. And I'm curious to see if Cyril, who is using a lot of 2-base, whether it be kind of Roach, Carapace pushes into Infestors or Mutalisks or anything like that, I truly wonder, is he going to continue doing those? Are those still good? Are those actually, no, you're just too far behind against the 3 command center into the 2-1-1? Yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious to see how this goes. I don't like the 300 mineral command center change. That being said, I do think Terran needed some help. They were struggling pretty hard. That being said, there's this weird thing, guys. Whenever you give any bonus to Terran or Zerg, it helps Clem and Cyril. And they're already freakishly good players. And it looks unfair. They make it look really unfair when you give them any boosts, don't they, guys? It's hard to judge. I mean, this is Clem Lambo. been a very one-sided matchup for years. Lambo always says he feels like he can kind of take maps and series off anyone, especially with strategies and studying their habits. And he'll always go, oh, not Clem, though. Clem, I don't know what the hell I'm supposed to even do against Clem. Just, it feels like he's 3 steps ahead all the time, and he somehow always knows where my screen is not looking, and the units are there, and then I'm dealing with that, and then there's units elsewhere. And I think definitely that's a very real effect when you're playing Clem, where either getting mutas to shut down the Banshees and take away your Clem's ability to pick and choose where all the fights happen, or going for earlier infestors. I feel like I'd always be looking for something like that. Playing this standard Lingbane Hydra style, I think Lambo's so good against it, at doing this against most players. But I do think against a guy like Clem, it puts you in such a defensive stance. You need to be Solar, Rainer, Serral. You need to be one of these absolute freaks who plays thousands of games of this every month to be able to withstand the pressure that Clem puts on. GG, well played. Hats off to Clem. Gets another 2-0, and he looks really good with the 300 mineral command centers, as we all expected. GG's.